Nobody can see you, but we can all hear you, Beaver.
Ladies and gentlemen, two Beavs are back. Actually, we got three Beavs. We got two Beavs, and then we got this
Beaver.
Beaver. My dog, Beaver, everybody. Lab picnics. Say hello, Beaver. Okay. All right, lay down, buddy. Lay down. Hey, everybody. Normally, we start with the intro, but tonight we're skipping the intro. You kicking my dog, man. All right, lay down, buddy. Lay down. Okay. Today we're skipping the intro, and we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with the Suns. Oh, first off, rocking the D-Bags jerseys.
Rest in peace, Coach Schmidt.
Rest in peace, man. He's not dead.
I thought he died.
We'll get to that later. But yeah, sad time for Diamondback fans. Also, trying to be a little festive today. Rocking the eggnog. Grossing Jeremiah out.
And hot now. Yeah, you just drank like a gallon of eggnog.
Yeah, Jeremiah.
Pretty gross.
Every time I take a swig, he's.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll jump right into it. Suns, man. Suns. And I'm going to tell Jeremiah, shut up here for a minute because I got a story. Story time. Watching the Suns play these past couple months reminded me of coaching my nephew's Little League team last season. He plays coach pitch. And they don't keep score. And we went through the entire season of these kids not keeping score, being competitive. We get to the playoffs, and, there wasn't supposed to be a playoffs, and all of a sudden they decided, hey, we're going to do a playoffs, we're going to keep score, and we're going to have a champion. So now we got 2 games left, and now I'm trying to teach these kids what it means to win, lose, and how to compete at the end of the season. And I'm out and I'm talking to my nephew, and I'm trying to talk to him. He's 8. It's 6, 7, and 8-year-olds, okay? And he's 8, and I'm trying to tell him, like, hey, you need to back up this guy in front of you so that you can make a play, and then you can stop the runner from scoring. And he's like, okay. And like he normally says, everything I tell him is okay. So the next time around, he doesn't do it. Like, hey, buddy, you need to do this. And finally, that's the second time he kind of half-assed did it, but wasn't sure, like, the urgency of what he needed to do. Finally, he comes back, and I'm like, hey, buddy, you got to stop that guy from scoring. And he's like, why? Why do I have to stop this guy from scoring? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, scoring's fun. Like, why do I want to stop this guy? Why do I want to stop this kid from having a good time out there? And that's when I realized that him and the rest of his teammates really had no concept of winning or losing. They just wanted to have fun. They just wanted to go out there and have a good time. And why do I want to stop my opponent from having a good time as well? That's how I feel about the Phoenix Suns. And that's what it looks like they're playing right now. DeAndre Ayton looks like he's just out there to have fun, along with a lot of his teammates. They just have no concept of competing and trying to stop. There's so many, the Olay, like a freaking bullfighter. Just let him go to the hoop. Just go on, buddy. No big deal. I'm just out here to have a good time. And we win, we lose at the end of the day. No big deal, because I'm out here having a good time, too. And that's what they freaking look like right now. It might be the worst Suns team in the history of the Phoenix Suns. That's over 50 years. What is it, 51 season now? Bad freaking basketball, man. What do you think, Jeremiah?
My only opinion about the Suns is I'm upset that on my way here, driving over to the studio, is I was hoping I would get here in enough time to put a bet against the Phoenix Suns tonight, so I can bet on the Miami Heat to cover the spread, which was 8.5 points tonight. And the Miami Heat beat them by almost 20 points, which they would have covered the spread. So that's my only opinion on the Suns, is I'm upset that I didn't bet against them tonight because it's almost a guarantee.
He's got a gambling problem.
But it was a for sure thing. It was a for sure thing. I just didn't get here in enough time to make the bet. The Suns are awful. We have a good thing going for a lottery pick, and that's all I care about.
Tonight was the back half of back-to-back, and the way they played in their last 2 games, I would have thought they would have lost by 40 tonight, no matter who they played.
Side note, we're not getting to ASU basketball yet, but I wanted to make a parlay with the Phoenix Suns, not the Phoenix Suns, but I wanted to make a parlay with Miami Heat to beat the Phoenix Suns, minus 8.5 points, and I wanted to take the Sun Devils tonight with the money line, plus 240 against Nevada. We'll get to that later. But big parlay, I missed out on it.
Hey, what I'm seeing from the NBA and players in the NBA with the Kevin Durant's in the world wanting to go and play for just wanting to go and win championships and not build their own team and not win on their own and building these super teams, and I'm kind of borderline. I think you're dead centered right in the middle of the whole millennial thing. I'm kind of half Generation X, kind of millennial with my age. I'm 35, almost 35. So it's that millennial mentality of like, I just want to have fun. I don't want to work very hard. I just want to get that, and that's the way it always comes back to DeAndre Ayton. He was the number 1 pick in the draft, and he can get 18 and 9 in his sleep. He doesn't even have to try, and that's what he's been doing. I want to see him go out there and compete. I want to see him foul some people. I want to see him play a hard defense and actually give an effort, and maybe go out and get 15, 20 rebounds one night. And he's capable of it. He's full of talent and just want to. And he doesn't have it, and a lot of guys on this team that don't have it. Josh Jackson's inconsistent. T.J. Warren doesn't play any defense. The only guy on this team that's worth a damn that plays hard night in and night out is Devin Booker, and he's hurt right now. So that's not helping anything. And Robert Sarver's one of the worst owners in sports, and nothing will change on this team.
Oh, yeah. Sarver's going to go.
Nothing. Well, he's not going anywhere. What are you going to do? Buy the team? You got the money?
Side note. Did you hear what he said to one of the fans like a couple days ago?
No.
So one of the fans said, hey, you should sell, or actually, I don't remember exactly what happened, but he said he should sell the team. And then he said, how much money you got? And the fan said, oh, I got $100 in my pocket. He said, I feel bad for you that you only have $100. Something along those lines, to where I heard on the radio that the fans are going to start to turn against him. That was a dick move by you, Sarver.
Well, the fans started turning against him 5 years.
Yeah, but that was still a dick move, but him saying
I'd like to see a fan
$100.
that is on his side, but it's turning into a laughing stock. And I heard Dan Bickley on the radio. Dan Bickley, half the crap that comes out of his mouth is a bunch of nonsense. But he's starting to preach. Maybe do like what the 76ers did a couple years ago with bringing Jerry Colangelo in. Adam Silver, step in, do something, because we're not putting any money into general managers. We just hired an assistant general manager to be the general manager on the cheap. Fired a lot of the scouts and a lot of the people in the scouting department, and didn't hire anybody to replace them. And then hired an assistant coach, first-time coach, to be the head coach, not paying him anything. At some point, you're going to have to bring in an established general manager and an established head coach that these players respect and will listen to. And until that happens, SOL, man. So who saw the Cardinals win in Lambeau last week coming? No, you didn't. You picked them to lose.
No,
Get their ass kicked.
the Packers suck. The Packers
was.
suck. As a traditional Cardinals and Bears fan, Packers are terrible every year.
Playing in Lambeau, I think they were 4-1 going into the game. Really good record going in, playing in the frozen tundra. It was cold, man. Cardinals went down there. Usually don't play very good on the road. Went in and beat them. It was impressive, especially with considering the circumstances. With cold, offense not being very good. I didn't expect a whole lot. Packers actually had something to play for. They were still going for the playoffs. Real quick, name one Cardinals offensive lineman that finished the game last week. One. All five.
We're waiting for you guys to name one. That was a viewer question, not a me question. That was
All
a viewer
five
question.
offensive linemen that finished that game last week were backups when the season started.
Good.
All five backups. Well, AQ Shipley got hurt in the preseason, so Mason Cole was the starter coming
Who?
in. AQ Shipley.
Oh,
Starting center.
what's his first name?
AQ.
AQ?
AQ.
Like the letter A and
He's
then
only been the center for 3 years, man.
AQ Ship. Keep it up, my friend.
So, but at one point at the end of the game, 3 rookies, left tackle, left guard, center, all rookies. Pretty impressive what they did. Just surviving, maintaining. They didn't blow anybody away with their offense, but they just kept them in the game. Rosen should have been picked off once or twice, but still inaccurate. But you know what? I say just be patient with Josh Rosen. Everybody remember that he's just a rookie. A lot of rookie quarterbacks struggle. Peyton Manning threw like 18 interceptions his rookie year. Okay. A lot of rookie quarterbacks just struggled through that first year and kind of figure things out, especially on this team. It's a bad team, a broken offensive line, a little slower David Johnson, which is something else, man.
I think Rosen's still fine. Like it's. I said that I feel like on a couple episodes back that Rosen's gonna throw a few picks. He's gonna have a few bad games, but he's gonna figure out how to play against defense. This is the time. We have a shitty team right now. Probably lose a lot of games. Let them go out there, throw the ball, figure shit out, That's been my whole philosophy from the beginning. It's let him figure stuff out. I don't think it's going to ruin him. Just don't let him get hit too often. That's my only thing.
I'm going to be the first one here to say it.
You heard it here first.
I think Chase Edmonds is a better running back right now than David Johnson.
I disagree because David Johnson is one of my fantasy running backs.
Which is what everybody keeps talking about. Everybody's all butthurt about David Johnson and the way he's playing right now is because a lot of people have him on their fantasy team.
The only fantasy team I have
about it.
I have him in a keeper league that I'm not in the playoffs, so yeah, let's see what Edmonds has.
Chase Edmonds has looked more explosive. And he also doesn't make all the mental mistakes that David Johnson does. David Johnson looks like he's a step slower than he was 2 years ago, because that's pretty much the last time he played. It was 2 years ago. He missed all last season. Looks a step slower. And I know, and it might be the play calling, and it might be the offensive system, but they keep just jamming him up the middle, right behind the center, and it's just boom, boom, and it's 3-4 yards of pop. And that's all we're getting out of David Johnson right now. Chase Edmonds is showing a little more explosiveness, a little more desire to get those extra yards, and he's a really smart player. He doesn't make mistakes. David Johnson this season playing without Bruce Arians and without Carson Palmer and Drew Stanton, veterans, being in the huddle and being at the line of scrimmage and telling him what he's supposed to do and keeping an eye on him and knowing what he's going to do and where he's going to be. You got a rookie quarterback back there now not helping him out. So, and you're seeing a lot more mental mistakes on David Johnson's part. Not as much towards the end of the season so far now, but at the beginning of the season, tons of mistakes. And when Chase Edmonds out there, you don't see that. So we'll see. We'll see how the season finishes out. But and you know what? I'd like to see David Johnson maybe lose about 10 pounds in the offseason, get a little more of that explosiveness back.
I think the Cardinals. It's see the rest of the year. Just see what players you have for next year. It's the season's gone. Hopefully, we can get a top 5 pick and let Rosen throw the ball around. See if he's our future quarterback. I think he is. Just let him throw the ball around. Just make sure that he's our future and build around him.
Right now, I'm still saying, Steve Keim, you got to go. Even after that win last week, Keim, you got to go, man. There's not enough depth. Yeah. There's not enough talent. Horrible drafts. And everybody's saying, look at this draft that he had this year. Yeah. Well, look at the 5 that he had before this. He didn't get the job done for 5 years in drafting players. And now he might have had one good draft, maybe. You don't even know. 2 years from now, we might be looking back at this draft. It was a bunch of garbage also. So after 5 years of bad drafts, Keim, you're out. Wilkes, you're probably out, but that win last week, it shows that the team's not quitting on you. So we'll see how these next 4 games shake out. You win 2 or 3 of them, maybe we'll talk. You win none or one of them, you're probably still gone. So we'll see, but I'm thinking right now they're both probably out. So we'll see.
Baseball. I forgot we started a team.
Just a few days after.
Sidekick. Hit the sidekick. Give the sidekick a shout. Ooh, sidekick.
Goldie's gone. Moment of silence.
Go.
Goodbye, Goldie. Yeah. It's some real good times. Real good times. As you can see, still rocking the jerseys. Lay down, Beaver. It's cool.
What's up, Beaver? Man,
you're good. So, yeah, trade a few days ago. Let the rebuild begin. Sad times. Sad times in Arizona in Arizona sports in general, man. Suns might get the number 1 pick again. Cardinals might get the number 1 pick. Diamondbacks rebuilding. Go Yotes, I guess. But that's said that for later too. So
Goldie had no fight in him. The end of last season, that was my thing, is that Goldie had no fight in him. He was a fucking great player, one of the best players in the league, but he had no passion. He had no fight. As a Bears fan, I saw a lot of Jay Cutler in him, but he was just really good. Jay Cutler was shitty at times, but he just didn't show any emotion. He was just a happy, nice dude.
I've never disagreed with anything Jeremiah has said on this show as much as he did just now. Blasphemous. Blasphemous what he just said. That's not Goldschmidt. That's not what he is.
Classy dude. Classy dude.
He shows up at the ballpark every day and kicks ass.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say a whole lot. He doesn't say a whole lot. And you're getting mad at him because he didn't change after 8 years of being the same way that he had been the whole time?
Yep.
Why didn't he mix it up a little bit? And
he should punch one of his teammates in the dugout, do something, fire him up.
For 8 years, people complained that he just didn't have that in him, but it was a small complaint compared to all the good that he did. 3-time runner-up of MVP, 6-time All-Star. I'll take it. And I'll take him being quiet and not, he was a leader on the field, maybe not necessarily in the clubhouse, even though he helped all his teammates. He was always considered a great teammate by everybody that had ever played with him. So, no, you're wrong.
That's my opinion. That was my opinion on him, but at the same time, I still feel like it was a shitty trade. We shouldn't have done it.
That whole team didn't have fight him.
Hold on to him until the trade deadline. Get a top prospect for him. Get a top prospect for him for a desperate team trying to make the playoffs.
That I agree with. Because
shitty fucking trade. Shitty fucking trade.
For what we were going to get for him, it was a good trade. Because apparently we weren't going to get anything from anybody else because nobody wanted to pay for him for just 1 year. He's a rental.
Okay.
No, here, hold up. Let me. We could have traded him at the trade deadline, and I think if he would have had a season just like he did last year, and at the time of the trade deadline, he was pretty much on fire last year, you could have traded him kind of like a Manny Machado. Probably not get quite what you got from Machado, but you could have traded him to a contender who was desperate for a bat in their lineup. Even an American League team who needed a DH, he could have gone and been a DH in the American League. Well, he's a Gold Glove for
it would be a DH. They'd move their first baseman to
depending on who the team is and their first baseman. But anyway, somebody would have given you something for him at that time. So what I'm saying is you could have kept him. You could have lost Pollock, Corbin, who are now both leaving in free agency. So now Pollock, Corbin, Goldschmidt, all gone, and 3 homegrown players too. So now they're all gone, but you could have maybe come back. You just re-signed Escobar. Jake Lamb coming back from injury. Souza coming back from injury. At some point, you're going to get Taijuan Walker back. You could have signed a couple free agents and been competitive again. And at the deadline, you could have traded some of these pieces off if you're not competing, and you could have started the rebuild then. But giving the Diamondbacks 1 more year and giving their fans 1 more year to be competitive and have something to root for. But that didn't happen. So the rebuild starts now. Okay, you got to move Greinke. You got to trade him and get rid of that contract. When they brought the staff in, when they brought Hazen and Torey Lovello in 2 years ago, they didn't expect to make the playoffs last year. They wanted to start the rebuild then. They didn't think they were as good as they were at the time. So now their rebuild has been put off for 2 years, and now they're starting now. So you gotta cut them some slack because they inherited that Zach Greinke contract. They inherited that Yasmani Tomas contract. If you had neither one of those contracts, you might still have Paul Goldschmidt now. But they were stuck with that. We're not a big market team. We're not big money. We're not the Cubs. We're not the Red Sox. We're not the Dodgers. We're not the Yankees. We can't afford to spend big money. But the problem is we've acted like it for 10 years now, 15 years now. Well, since Jerry Colangelo paid Randy Johnson and Luis Gonzalez, Steve Finley, all those guys, they paid those guys for like 15 years and years after that World Series team. So try to do it the right way now. Build the farm system and have the depth to where when these big money guys now finally want the big money, you can trade them off and still have the depth in your system to still be a consistently good team. And that's the way you got to build the team now.
Hey, could be worse. We could be paying Bobby Bonilla $1 million every July. It's not that bad.
It's good. Max, we're kind of in that with like 6 guys, and they paid them for like 12 years. But
when did Bobby Bonilla retire?
He's still getting paid. So
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Watch a what?
There's a Netflix movie that ties in with Braveheart.
Yeah, I heard it's really bad. Everybody said it was terrible.
Way better, but not terrible.
It doesn't tie in with Braveheart. It's just the after story. It's their own version of the story. It's not a sequel to Braveheart.
No, William lost his arm. Hang in there. They put it on like a big pedestal.
Which is what ASU did to U of A.
Ripped their arms off and fucked them up. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
going to start over.
Mom's been real upset with my cousin.
Really?
Yeah.
Should work on that.
She says we cuss too much.
I
think it's me.
Anyway, ASU beat the crap out of U of A.
Go Devils!
And by beat the crap, I mean they lost most of the game and they were getting their asses kicked. And then U of A decided to start dribbling the ball down the field like they were the basketball team all of a sudden. And ASU took advantage of it and ended up beating them. And U of A missed the last second field goal, which was pretty awesome. I actually got in trouble for that. Melissa, my beautiful wife, I love you. But I was with her family for a little Thanksgiving feast during the game. They didn't plan that out very well with their timing.
That's their fault.
Fourth quarter, my phone starts blowing up. Touchdown, ASU. Touchdown, ASU. And I'm like, well, I'll just sneak out the door. And I went and sat in my car and listened to it on the radio. They weren't even watching the game on the TV. Who does that? But, yeah, I listened to the rest of the game on the radio, and I got a lot of weird looks from the neighbors because I was kind of freaking out in the car. Like, the whole car was shaking. It was a real good time.
Why were you shaking the car, man?
It was exciting, man. It was an exhilarating moment. That missed field goal, I was shaking. That's how excited I was. Big deal. Big win for the Devils. Big win for Herm. Going to the Las Vegas Bowl, and U of A is going to be at home. So playing, the hell are we playing? Fresno State.
Fresno!
Ranked team. So maybe beat a ranked team, and you know what? If we beat them, there's a chance we may be sneaking into that top 25.
We should be ranked. We're a decent team. Pac-12 team. But if we beat them, we should be ranked.
Pac-12 is pretty bad, and for us being...
But then going into next year, too, we're losing our quarterback and our best receiver. So, yeah, maybe not. Hey, we're better than U of A.
Fuck you. But what I did see recently is pretty badass. A lot of pictures coming out of Herm on the recruiting trail. And not just Herm. It's him with, like, his entire coaching staff. I posted a couple pictures up on Facebook and Twitter and some of the other stuff that we're on. But, yeah, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on all that stuff. But, yeah, pictures of them in players' homes and out on the field and out in the street. And it's a whole coaching staff. You don't normally see that. You normally see, like, one coach, two coaches, three coaches visiting these kids. 8 or 9 coaches are in all these pictures. They're busting their ass right now.
How many players have we found on the street? You said on the street, too?
Yeah, on the street.
We found a few of those street kids.
Still not big-time 5- and 4-star recruits, but you can tell that they're busting their ass. We got 1 4-star, the rest are 3 stars, but they keep saying that they're going after the players that they think fit their system, and they think – and now, bigger than anything, we were talking about with the Suns a little while ago, character and competitiveness is a big thing. And just because you're a 4 or 5-star player, you might not be a winner. You might not have that competitive spirit. So a lot of these 3-star players might be the players that they're looking for. So we'll see. N'Keal Harry, Benjamin, Cole Cabral, all first team, all Pac-12, and Merlin Robinson, defensive freshman of the year, is a pretty big deal. So N'Keal leaving early. Everybody saw that coming. I got no problem with that at all. I really don't. It's a lower level bowl game. And the way he plays, his speed, and what he does at the combine, his 40 time, his agility times are going to determine whether he's a top 15 pick. And honestly, if he scores bad, I could see him dropping to the bottom of the second round. I really could. I mean, he's got a ton of talent, and he's unbelievable. But if he runs a bad 40 time, one of the knocks on him is his breakaway speed. So if he does really bad at the combine, they could knock him down. So give him a few extra weeks to go work on that. Be ready. Be in great shape when he does that. And Herm had his back that whole way, which is awesome. So it's good to see, and it's good for the future of this program, knowing that coaches have players' backs. So pretty awesome.
Go Devils.
So we're running a little long on our episodes. We've had a couple complaints so far, so we're going to try to do this Coyote segment a little quicker than normal. Coyote. That was the worst one yet, man. Coyotes are playing the best hockey they've played in like 7 years, and this guy can't even get excited for them right now. Pretty bad. They might make the playoffs.
Where the fuck's your howl been?
I can't do it.
You haven't howled all season.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I got, man.
All right.
Anthony Ronsta's hurt. He tried to come back a couple weeks ago and struggled through 2-3 games. Didn't look normal, didn't look himself, suffered another injury, and came out third period of a game 5 games ago now, I believe. Rookie, Aiden Hill, comes into the game and shuts him out in the third period. Coyotes come out with a win. Then they go on to win 4 in a row with him in goal. They lost last night 4-2 to the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Capitals. The last goal was
It was a lot closer. Yeah, it was a lot closer than it looked.
But something I heard Biz Nasty, Paul Bissonnette, which I think is crazy. He's not announcing a lot of the games now on the radio because he is now like the ambassador of the Coyotes. And he's like becoming like the ambassador of the NHL. Like that crazy bastard, all he did was drink and party and fight the whole time he was in the league. And now he's like an ambassador of the league, which is great because the dude's awesome. Like,
well, he hops around because he's like a borderline in trouble with like every network and everything that he hops from every radio station. But it's what the people want to hear. That's what he talks about. He just says what the people want to hear. He's like, oh, he should have punched that guy in the face, or he just random things like that.
I've never heard of anybody being that upset about what he said.
He's
in that gray area. He's in that gray area. He floats, but he's awesome. He's great for the league. He's what the league needs to kind of sell and get everybody excited about it. But anyway, he's been awesome. But what he said the other day, this 22-year-old Aiden Hill, the goaltender, was the first player in the last 4 drafts of goalies to play. 4 drafts of goalies, the last 4 amateur drafts. He's the first one to get into a game. That's pretty crazy.
I didn't know that.
So, I mean, that's impressive. He was the 76th pick in the draft, so he might be the goalie of the future, even though we just signed Ranta to a 3-year deal. If the kid's got a hot hand and you think he's the guy, something to think about. And to get a young goalie that's ready at that young of an age, that's pretty impressive. Goalies apparently take a little longer to develop. Did you see Michael Grabner's eye the other day?
No.
Michael Grabner took a stick to the eye, and it's gruesome. Like, we'll try to post a picture of it here. Not for the faint of heart, but he's going to be out for a while. But Lawson Krause came in and took his spot in the last couple games. I think he's got 2 goals in the last 2 games. So he's tearing it up. That trade a couple weeks ago, Perlini and Strome for Nick Schmaltz, I didn't like it because we've been being sold on all these young guys that the team's trying to build around, and we keep trading them. Max Domi's had an unbelievable year, playing like a freaking all-star.
Fuck you, Max Domi.
Why? I like Domi. Big fan of Domi. Yeah. That's the second dumbest thing he said all day. But
no, I mean, why are you supporting Max Domi? Get out of here, Max Domi. You're gone.
For a minute, I thought he was going to be the captain of the team before last season. The next captain. But playing like an all-star. So we bringing Nick Schmaltz. Supposed to be super talented. So far, he's shown the talent offensively. Hasn't been very good defensively. But you see all the stats on offense. You think he's kind of turning it up. But it forms a really talented line with him, Keller, and Galakanukas. Young, super talented Galchenyuk is his name.
Galifianakis and Keller.
This team right now is looking like a playoff team, and with everything else that's going on with the sports world, Suns, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, if you're looking for something to root for and looking for a bandwagon to jump on, get on that Coyote bandwagon because they're young, they're talented, they're playing hard. They lost to the Stanley Cup champions last night, and the coach and the players were pissed off that they lost that game. So that tells you something. So we'll see how the rest of the season finishes out.
Go Yotes!
For Devils basketball. And Dort. Jeremiah started like 3 segments by going, Dort! I was like, dude, we're not talking about ASU basketball. We're so excited. Doing big things. Big game tonight. They're playing right now. As we're filming this, it's halftime. ASU's beating down Nevada, number 6 Nevada. ASU's now ranked 20th in the country. Doing exactly what they did last year in non-conference. Beating everybody. Beating the hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
They're 7-0 going into tonight. They went 13-0 non-conference last year. That's 20 in a row. Up 14 halftime. I think 36-22. They look good. They're playing with a lot of tenacity, a lot of intensity. they're bringing it to him, man. They're playing on both ends of the court. Bobby Hurley's coaching great. Players are playing hard, and you can just see the fire in them. And I just hope it carries over into conference play when teams know what they're going to bring. And hopefully they should bring something different, which it looks like they do. They attack, they play defense. Not what the team last year did, which is awesome. Tonight they also got Remy Martin. I saw Rob Edwards playing. I don't know if Mickey Mitchell's playing. He doesn't play a whole lot of minutes anyway, so he might be playing. We'll see. They won their last 2 games without those 3 guys. So
I think it's a Bobby Hurley team with a fucking lottery pick on their team. Dort is amazing. Dort is imagine a LeBron James mixed with Zion. Actually, no. It's a LeBron James and Westbrook combination, but a little bit smaller. He's small, powerful, can take it to the hoop, slam dunk. He can shoot. He's a lottery pick. He's a one and done type of player. But then we have a good cast around him.
a lot of good players.
One and done.
Players on this team, and they all play hard. They're 9-10 deep. And Hurley brought in a couple good recruits. A really good 4-star JUCO player who can come in, step in right away, handle the ball a little bit, which is kind of what this team lacks a little bit. They got Remy Martin, and Dort has been very impressive handling the ball. And you haven't seen what?
Is it Chatham?
What about him?
I haven't watched too many games, but I feel like I've been hearing his name all over the place.
Yeah,
Chatham?
he can't really shoot, or he's not that great of a ball handler, but he just plays his ass off.
Yeah, my man.
He just plays his ass off, both ends of the court. He rebounds, he passes well, and it's a lot of hustle and a lot of energy that he brings. And he's a local kid. He's an Arizona kid. I think he went to South Mountain High. So, I mean, it's a cool story. He transferred, sat out last year. I think he might be a senior. He's a junior and a senior right now. So
He's no Dort.
But what I was talking about is the JUCO kid, 4-star, and then Jalen House, Eddie's kid, is coming in next year. Another guard, another great ball handler, scorer, 4-star recruit. So, I mean, Bobby's getting the job done. So, go Devils.
Keep it up.